Every single year, the tech world reaches a fever pitch as we approach the spring season. But 2026 feels different. There's a palpable electricity in the air that we haven't seen since the transition to the bezel-less era. We are standing on the precipice of a massive shift in how we define the entry-level experience, and the leaked details surrounding the iPad 12th generation suggest that Apple is about to blow the doors off our expectations. For years, the base model iPad has been the reliable, safe, and somewhat predictable sibling in the family. But the whispers coming out of the supply chain in Cupertino indicate that the 12th generation is no longer content with being just a budget tablet. We are talking about a device that is rumored to bridge the gap between casual consumption and professional-grade intelligence in a way that will make the current 11th generation model feel like a relic of a bygone era. The most staggering leak involves the internal brain of this machine. While the previous iteration relied on the A16 chip, a powerhouse in its own right, it lacked the specialized architecture required for the upcoming revolution in artificial intelligence. Welcome back to my channel Tech Rivet for exclusive insights into the future of tech. Subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for more tech updates. Now, if you've been following the trajectory of Apple Intelligence, you know that RAM and neural engine processing are the new gold standards, and the iPad 12 is reportedly jumping straight into the deep end with either the A18 or the groundbreaking A19 chip. This isn't just a minor speed bump for opening your emails faster. This is a 50% performance leap that brings desktop-class AI capabilities to a device that costs a fraction of a MacBook. Imagine a world where your basic iPad can summarize complex lectures, generate high-fidelity images on device without a cloud connection, and navigate a completely overhauled Siri that actually understands context and nuance. The industry is buzzing with reports that Apple is finally bumping the base RAM to 8 gigabytes across the board. If you've ever felt your iPad stutter when switching between a dozen Safari tabs and a Zoom call, this is the fix you've been waiting for. But the hardware isn't the only thing evolving. The leaks suggest a refined focus on connectivity, with the integration of the N1 chip, potentially bringing Wi-Fi 7 to the entry-level lineup for the very first time. This means lower latency, higher speeds, and a device that is truly future-proof for the next 5 to 7 years of software updates. Even the display, which many thought would remain stagnant, is seeing rumors of a liquid retina refinement that, while staying at the 11-inch mark to maintain portability, might finally see an increase in peak brightness and a reduction in air gap thickness, bringing the glass closer to the pixels for that painted-on look we usually only see on the Air and Pro models. When we look at the release timeline, the consensus among top-tier analysts like Mark Gurman points toward a massive spring event, likely in late March or early April of 2026. This puts us just months away from seeing if Apple will indeed break its tradition of using older recycled chips and instead give the people what they want, a modern powerhouse. But there is a catch that has the community divided: the price. With these Pro-Lite features like the A19 chip and 8 gigabytes of RAM, there are whispers of a slight price adjustment. Could we see the $349 starting price climb to $399? For the level of performance we're talking about, many would argue it's a steal, but for the education market, it's a gamble. We also have to consider the Apple Pencil Pro compatibility. Leaks suggest that the iPad 12 will fully embrace the haptic feedback and squeeze gestures of the latest stylus, effectively making it a digital canvas that rivals the Pro models of just 2 years ago. As we dive deeper into the aesthetics, don't expect a total chassis redesign. Apple found a winner with the current flat-edged look, but expect a color revolution. The leaks point toward a more sophisticated palette, a deep midnight blue, a refreshed starlight, and perhaps a bold product red revival that hasn't been seen on the base iPad in quite some time. The front-facing camera is another area of intense speculation. With the landscape orientation now the standard for video calls, there are rumors of an upgraded 12MP ultra-wide lens with improved center stage tracking, powered by that new A19 neural engine to make you look like you're in a professional studio, even if you're sitting in a messy bedroom. This video is going to break down every single component, from the battery life improvements, thanks to the 3 nanometers efficiency of the new silicon, to the potential for a Magic Keyboard Folio redesign that might finally include a row of function keys. We're going to look at why buying an iPad 11 right now might be the biggest mistake you can make, and how the iPad 12 is positioning itself to be the only tablet 90% of people will ever need. The stakes have never been higher for Apple, as competition from high-end Android tablets and foldable devices continues to mount. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly why the iPad 12th generation is the most anticipated budget device in Apple's history. Let's talk about the Apple Intelligence factor again, because this is the core reason the 12th gen exists. In 2026, a device without AI is essentially a calculator. The iPad 12 is rumored to be the gateway drug for the masses to enter the AI ecosystem. We're hearing about features like system-wide writing tools that can rewrite your emails to sound more professional or more fun with a single tap. There's talk of Image Playground being integrated directly into the Notes app, allowing students to sketch a rough idea and have the iPad 12 turn it into a polished illustration using the power of the A19. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality of the 2026 roadmap. But what about the Mini in the Air? Well, the leak suggests that the iPad 12 will borrow so much from the current Air that it might actually cannibalize its sales. If the base iPad gets the A19 and 8 gigabytes of RAM, why would anyone pay $200 more for an Air? The answer might lie in the display technology, as rumors suggest the Air and Pro will move toward OLED, leaving the iPad 12 as the king of LCD. This strategic move allows Apple to keep the price down while giving us the internal specs we crave. As we inch closer to the launch, the tension in the supply chain is reaching a boiling point. We are seeing early glass panel leaks that confirm the 11-inch form factor is staying, but with slightly narrower bezels that could push the screen-to-body ratio to new heights. The USB-C port is also getting an upgrade. While it's been there since the 10th gen, the 12th gen is rumored to support faster data transfer speeds, making it easier to move large 4K video files or high-res photos from your iPhone 17 Pro. In conclusion, the iPad 12th generation is shaping up to be a redefinition year. It's the year that cheap iPad stops feeling cheap. It's the year that high-end AI becomes accessible to the student, the casual browser, and the grandmother alike. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or just someone looking for a reliable tablet that won't be obsolete in 2 years, the iPad 12 is the device to watch. We've covered the chips, the RAM, the cameras, the connectivity, and the potential price traps. The only thing left to do is wait for that Apple invite to hit our inboxes. If these leaks are even 80% accurate, 2026 will go down as the year the iPad became truly unbeatable